They called him the serpent's disciple, the man who killed for an ancient Egyptian god. But before the murders, before the madness, before 4 families were shattered in 10 days of terror, there was just a boy with a loaded gun. September 24th, 1993. 7-year-old Nikko Jenkins walks into his elementary school with a handgun tucked in his backpack. The other children are carrying lunchboxes. He's carrying death. His mother, Lori Jenkins, would later call it her wake-up call. But some alarms, once they start ringing, never stop. The Jenkins family of Omaha, Nebraska, carries a burden written in their very DNA. They are descendants of Levi Levering, once a distinguished Native American chief, the first of his people to serve as commissioner to the Presbyterian General Assembly in 1911. A man who stood before Congress in 1920 and successfully fought for his people's land rights. How does such nobility rot into nightmare? Ask Lori Jenkins. She'll tell you straight. My side of the family is nothing but alcoholics, crackheads, drunks. It's sad. 38 descendants, 633 crimes, $2.8 million in prison costs. This is not a family tree, it's a forest fire, and everyone it touches gets burned. Nikko grew up watching his parents, Lori and David McGee, tear each other apart. Me and Nikko's dad. We had a lot of violence in our relationship, Lori admits. The boy learned early. In this house, love and violence speak the same language. By 17, he's robbing people at gunpoint. By 26, after spending half his life in prison, he's about to be released, and he's terrified. Don't let me out, he begs. I'll kill someone. The system doesn't listen. The system never listens. July 30th, 2013. The cage opens. The serpent slithers free. 12 days. That's all it takes. August 11th, 2013. 5 o'clock in the morning. A patrol officer's flashlight cuts through the darkness at Spring Lake Park. Inside a white Ford pickup truck, 2 bodies, Juan Uribe Pena and Jorge Cajiga Ruiz, each with a single shotgun blast to the head. Their pockets turned inside out. They'd been lured by the promise of women, of pleasure. They found only death. August 19th. Curtis Bradford thought Nikko was his friend. They'd served time together, posed for photos together. Just 24 hours before, they'd been smiling for a Facebook picture. Now Curtis lies behind a garage on 18th and Clark, bullet in his brain, betrayed by a man he trusted. Even killers need friends. Even friends can become sacrifices. August 21st, 2:15 in the morning. Andrea Kruger is driving home from her bartending shift. She's a mother of 3. She's almost safe. Almost home. The intersection of 168th and 4th Streets becomes her grave. She never sees it coming. 4 people. 10 days. One man's twisted communion with a god that exists only in his fractured mind. I did it for Apophis. Jenkins tells the police during an 8-hour confession. The ancient Egyptian serpent deity commanded him, required sacrifice, demanded blood. But Nikko didn't work alone. Evil rarely does. His sister Erica helped hunt Curtis Bradford, told him they were planning a robbery, led him to his execution. His mother Lori provided the ammunition. 10 years in federal prison for helping her son kill. His uncle, Warren Levering, helped dispose of evidence from Andrea Kruger's murder. 40 years behind bars, 6 family members, 30 charges. One bloody conspiracy written in DNA and dysfunction. The courtroom becomes Nikko's stage. He speaks in tongues, glossolalia they call it, the language of the possessed or the pretending. He howls like something prehistoric, laughs as prosecutors catalog his victims' final moments. This is one of the worst killing sprees in state history, Judge Peter Battalion declares. The death sentence comes down like a hammer. 4 murders, 4 death sentences, 1 for each stolen life. But Nikko isn't done carving. Not on others, on himself. He etches numbers into his forehead, trying to write 666, but he's looking in a mirror. It comes out backwards, a devil who can't even brand himself properly. He slices his tongue, trying to make it forked like the serpent he worships. He mutilates his penis, 27 stitches, because Apophis demands he become reptilian, he says. The psychiatrists are split. Half say he's faking, manipulating, playing crazy to escape the needle. The other half say no one mutilates themselves like this for show. The voices in his head, they argue, are real to him. 2024. Nikko sits on death row filing motions with both hands. With one, he claims he's too mentally disabled to execute. With the other, he demands they set an execution date immediately. Kill me. Don't kill me. I'm crazy. I'm competent. The serpent speaks in contradictions. Meanwhile, the tab keeps running. $50,000 for another mental health evaluation. $7,000 for research into his upbringing. Hearing after hearing after hearing. Even in a cage, Nikko Jenkins costs Omaha dearly. Douglas County Attorney Don Klein, 40 years in law, says he's never seen anything like it. One family all participating in one crime spree. It was a reign of terror. The Levering Jenkins bloodline, from Presbyterian commissioner to prison cells in 4 generations. From protecting native land rights to destroying innocent lives. From Chief Levi Levering's dignity to Nikko Jenkins's depravity. They say blood is thicker than water. In the Jenkins family, blood is a prophecy, a curse, a promise that what flows through your veins might one day flow through the streets. 4 families still mourn: Juan Uribe Pena, Jorge Cajiga Ruiz, Curtis Bradford, Andrea Kruger. They were somebody's everything. Now their names on headstones, casualties of a madman's conversation with a God who doesn't exist. Nikko Jenkins remains on Nebraska's death row, carving symbols into his flesh, filing contradictory motions, costing taxpayers millions, waiting for either execution or exoneration, speaking to serpents only he can hear. The 7-year-old boy with the loaded gun became exactly what he promised he'd become: a killer, a monster, a warning. When someone tells you who they are, when they beg you not to let them loose, believe them. The system didn't. 4 people paid the price. And somewhere in the darkness of a maximum security cell, Nikko Jenkins waits. The serpent's disciple, the family shame, the man who murdered for a myth. Justice waits with him, patient, inevitable, cold as the needle that may one day still his poisoned blood. But until then, he howls, he laughs, he carves, and Apophis, if he exists at all, remains silent. The Nikko Jenkins story, out now at Twisted Manga Tales.